The person you love is pleading with you. Please read this message before it disappears. I don't want to lose you. My beloved child, wait, don't let this moment slip away, because what you are about to hear feels like a message that almost vanished before it could reach you. Somewhere, a heart has been carrying words it never found the courage to speak aloud. Not because those words were weak, but because they mattered too much. Imagine discovering that someone has been searching for the perfect moment to tell you what has been locked inside for so long. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every second of this story reveals another hidden piece, and by the end, everything you thought you understood may look completely different. There is a reason this message feels urgent. It is not about grand promises or impossible predictions. It is about a silent choice that could change everything between two people. Picture someone staring at a message they have rewritten over and over again, wondering if today is finally the day they should send it. Their heart whispers, "Please read this before it disappears. I don't want to lose the chance to tell you how much your presence has changed my life." But what happens next is the part no one expects. A single unexpected moment forces them to question whether waiting any longer will mean missing the opportunity forever. Don't look away now, because the biggest revelation hasn't arrived yet. Now ask yourself one question: what if the words people struggle the hardest to say are often the ones that carry the greatest truth? Sometimes the longest silence hides the deepest emotions, and sometimes the smallest message becomes the beginning of an unforgettable journey. Stay till the end, because the next part uncovers why this message almost disappeared before it reached its destination, and the unexpected reason behind that choice will leave you seeing the entire story from a completely new perspective. Something huge is waiting for you. Don't skip. For a moment, everything became completely still, almost as if time itself refused to move until this message was finally understood. The person who has been holding these feelings looked at the screen one last time, their hand hesitating over the button that could either begin a new chapter or leave everything unsaid forever. They quietly whispered, "If these words disappear without being read, they may never know how important they truly are to me." That single thought changed everything. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next decision they make is nothing like anyone would expect. They remembered every small moment that most people would have forgotten, every smile that arrived at the perfect time, every conversation that stayed in their mind long after it ended, every quiet memory that somehow became impossible to replace. Suddenly they realized it was never one big moment that made you unforgettable. It was the countless little moments that slowly found a permanent place inside their heart. That realization became impossible to ignore. They knew waiting forever was no longer an answer. Yet one unexpected obstacle appeared, making them wonder if destiny was asking them to be patient just a little longer. Before you move on, stay with this story, because what happens next reveals why this delay may have been necessary all along. And here is where the mystery grows even deeper. The message did not disappear because it lacked meaning. It almost disappeared because fear kept standing in front of hope. Fear whispered, "What if they don't understand?" But hope answered with something stronger, "What if this is the moment that changes everything?" That silent battle has reached its turning point, and the next part uncovers the hidden sentence they have been unable to stop thinking about, a sentence powerful enough to reshape everything you believed this story was leading toward. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. A quiet realization began to unfold, and suddenly every unanswered question started pointing toward the same incredible truth. The person you love could no longer convince themselves to stay silent. Every time they tried to move on with their day, one thought returned stronger than before: what if this is my last chance to tell them what my heart has been carrying? That question refused to disappear. It followed them through every ordinary moment until they understood that some feelings only grow louder when they are hidden. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next discovery changes the meaning of everything you have heard so far. Then something unexpected happened. Instead of sending a long message, they stopped and looked back at every memory that connected your story together. They realized the most meaningful moments were never the loud ones. They were the quiet conversations, the unexpected smiles, the simple moments that felt ordinary at the time but later became unforgettable. That is when a single sentence formed in their heart, a sentence they had never been brave enough to admit even to themselves: I don't want distance, silence, or fear to become the reason we lose something that could have been beautiful. Those words remained unsent. Not because they changed their mind, but because they were waiting for the perfect moment. And what happens next makes that waiting feel far more important than anyone could have imagined. Now the story reaches a turning point where nothing can remain the same. The message is closer than ever to being revealed, yet one final mystery still stands between the heart that wants to speak and the moment those words are finally seen. Why has everything been leading to this exact point? Why does it feel as though every delay has been preparing something even greater? Hold on just a little longer. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next part reveals the one truth they have been protecting from the very beginning, and once it is uncovered, the entire story takes a completely unexpected direction. Everything suddenly became clear, but not in the way anyone expected. The person you love finally understood that waiting for the perfect moment had only created more silence. They opened the message once again, read every single word, and quietly admitted to themselves, if these words disappear today, they may never know how deeply they changed my life. That realization was impossible to ignore. Their heartbeat felt louder than their doubts, and for the first time, hope began to overcome hesitation. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next few moments reveal the hidden truth they have been protecting all along. As they prepared to send the message, something unexpected caught their attention. It was not a sign, not a coincidence, but a memory they had almost forgotten. A simple moment returned so vividly that it answered every question they had been carrying. They realized the connection they felt was never built on one conversation or one unforgettable day. It had been growing quietly, piece by piece, until it became impossible to deny. That is why the message began with the words, "Please read this before it disappears." It was never about the message fading away. It was about the fear that another chance like this might never come again. Stay till the end, because the next revelation is even bigger than the last. Now the story stands at the edge of its most emotional turning point. The message is no longer unfinished. The hesitation is almost gone. Only one final decision remains before everything changes forever. But what those final words actually say is something no one around them could have predicted. They carry a truth so simple, yet so powerful, that it has the strength to change the entire direction of this story. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next part reveals the exact sentence they have been waiting their entire journey to share, and once it is revealed, nothing will feel the same again. The silence finally reached its limit, and in that quiet moment, the person you love realized there was no reason left to hide behind fear. Every unsent word, every delayed thought, every memory they tried to push away returned with unexpected clarity. One feeling stood above all the others, refusing to disappear. If I stay silent any longer, I may lose something I can never replace. That realization became stronger than every doubt they had ever carried. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next few moments reveal the truth that has been quietly growing since the very beginning. Then, without rushing, they opened the message one last time and began reading it as if they had never seen it before. Every sentence reminded them that the greatest connections are not built through perfect timing, they are built through honesty. They understood that what mattered was not finding flawless words, but finding the courage to finally let those words exist. Their heart whispered, no matter what happens next, they deserve to know what they mean to me. At that instant, everything that once felt confusing suddenly made sense. Every delay had been preparing them for this single decision. Stay with this story, because the biggest surprise is still waiting ahead. And now, the journey is standing at a door that has never been opened before. The message is complete. The fear is fading. Only one final moment separates hope from reality. But the words waiting beyond that moment are far more powerful than anyone imagined. They are not dramatic. They are not impossible. They are unforgettable because they come from complete sincerity. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next part uncovers the exact message that changes everything, and once those words are finally revealed, the entire story reaches the moment it has been building toward from the very first second. A single breath changed everything. The person you love looked at the message one final time, closed their eyes for just a moment, and finally understood what their heart had been trying to say all along. There was no longer any reason to hide behind uncertainty. The message was never meant to impress you. It was meant to reach you before another opportunity quietly slipped away. With complete honesty, they whispered, "I don't want to lose you because of the words I was too afraid to say." Those words carried more weight than they ever expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the next revelation is the one they have been protecting from the very beginning. Then the message unfolded exactly as they had always imagined, but not with dramatic promises or impossible claims. It simply said, "You became important to me long before I realized it. Every time I tried to convince myself that these feelings would fade, they only became stronger. I kept waiting for the perfect moment, but now I understand that the perfect moment is the one where I finally stop hiding the truth. In that instant, every unanswered question, every delay, and every moment of silence suddenly found its purpose. Nothing had been wasted. Everything had been leading toward this quiet but unforgettable confession. Stay till the end, because the story is still not over, and what follows makes these words even more meaningful. Now the journey reaches its most powerful turning point. The message has been spoken, but one final surprise still remains hidden beyond it. There is one last piece they have never shared with anyone, a truth that explains why they were so determined not to let this message disappear without being seen. It is the missing piece that connects every moment from the beginning until now. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final part reveals the unexpected reason this message was never just about saying goodbye to fear, it was about opening the door to a future they had secretly hoped for all along. The final piece of the story was never hidden by distance, it was hidden inside a choice that only the heart could make. After everything they had written, after every word they almost erased, they finally understood that some messages are not remembered because they are long. They are remembered because they are true. In the quietest moment of all, they looked toward the future and softly whispered, "No matter where life takes us, I never wanted my silence to become the reason we drifted apart." That single thought became the turning point they had been searching for from the very beginning. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because what comes next is the answer this entire journey has been leading toward. As the message reached its final lines, there were no dramatic promises and no impossible expectations. Instead, there was a calm honesty that carried more strength than anything else. If you are reading this, then my hope was stronger than my fear. I don't expect perfection. I only hope you know that your place in my story has never been ordinary. You inspired courage where there was hesitation, light where there was uncertainty, and hope where I thought none remained. Those words were never written to create pressure. They were written because some feelings deserve to be expressed before time quietly moves on. Every delay, every pause, every unanswered moment suddenly made perfect sense. Stay with this until the very end, because the biggest realization is still waiting. And here is the truth that changes everything. The message was never disappearing because it was meant to be forgotten. It almost disappeared because every meaningful opportunity has a moment when it asks to be noticed. The greatest connections are often built through sincerity, patience, and the courage to finally speak from the heart. As this story closes, one question quietly remains: what message in your own life has been waiting for the right moment to be heard? Hold on to that thought, because sometimes the ending of one story becomes the beginning of another. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the most unforgettable chapters are always the ones that begin after the silence is finally broken. One final truth remained, a truth that could only be understood after hearing the entire journey. The person you love never wanted this message to become just another forgotten memory. They wanted it to become a reminder that the strongest connections are built when someone finds the courage to be completely genuine. As they looked at the words one last time, a quiet smile appeared, because they finally realized something they had been searching for all along. the greatest fear was never being misunderstood, it was never letting my heart speak at all. In that instant, every unanswered question faded into the background. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the final revelation is closer than ever. Then the last line of the message appeared, and it was far simpler than anyone could have imagined. It read, "If these words have reached you, then perhaps they were never meant to disappear. Perhaps they were always meant to arrive at the exact moment they were needed. I cannot change yesterday, but I can choose honesty today. Whatever tomorrow brings, I wanted you to know that you have always mattered more than my fears." Those words carried no pressure, only sincerity. They were not asking for perfection. They were simply refusing to let silence write the ending of a story that still had hope left inside it. Stay till the end, because one final moment is still waiting to unfold. And now, as this chapter gently comes to a close, the story leaves behind something far more valuable than a message. It leaves behind a choice, the choice to value truth over hesitation, hope over doubt, and courage over silence. Sometimes the most unforgettable message is not the one that changes the world, it is the one that changes a single heart forever. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because every ending has quietly been preparing you for a brand new beginning, and the next chapter may become the most meaningful one of all. The journey ends here, but the feeling it leaves behind is only beginning. If you have stayed until this very moment, then you already know this story was never just about a message. It was about the courage to speak before silence becomes a habit. The person you love finally found the strength to let their heart be seen, not because they knew what the future would bring, but because they refused to let fear decide the ending. They quietly smiled and whispered, "No matter what happens next, I'm grateful these words finally reached you. Don't skip. Because even at the end, something huge is waiting for you." As the final page of this story closes, one powerful realization remains. Life is filled with moments that seem ordinary while they are happening, yet later become the memories we treasure the most. A single conversation, a single act of kindness, a single honest sentence can change the direction of an entire journey. That is why this message never truly disappeared. It survived every doubt, every delay, and every moment of hesitation until it reached exactly where it was meant to be. Perhaps the greatest miracle was never the message itself, but the courage it inspired. Stay till the end, because the final thought is the one that stays with you long after this story is over. And now the silence feels different. It no longer carries uncertainty, it carries possibility. Whatever chapter comes next, remember this. The strongest bonds are built through honesty, patience, and the willingness to let your true feelings be known with kindness. Some stories are remembered because they are dramatic. Others are remembered because they remind us that hope is always stronger than fear. This has been one of those stories. Thank you for staying until the final moment. Something huge is waiting for you. Not because the journey is ending, but because every meaningful ending quietly becomes the beginning of something beautiful.